Listen, y'all, we have to have an internal discussion. Uh, if you identify as this and not like this, I want you to stay. If you don't really have an idea of what I just did, you're probably not the target audience, so you can go ahead and head out. All right, thanks for coming in. I'm gonna give you all a few seconds. Mm. All right, everybody good? We've been quiet about this one, y'all. That's not lost on me, and I am not trying to be a voice of dissension. Okay. However, I gotta be real and I gotta be me. So I gotta run my mouth. Let's discuss the latest Spike Lee joint, Highest to Lowest, out now on Apple TV, featuring the incomparable Denzel Washington. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Cue the Curtain. Listen, y'all. Full disclosure, this movie took me about 9 days to watch. I started it and then I got distracted. I started reading some emails, took a walk around the block, came back to it, forgot I had to do laundry, did some of that. Few days went by, forgot about it. I said, oh shoot, I never finished that movie. Tried to finish it again, saw that my mail was coming, ran out, talked to the mailman. We chopped it up for a little bit, forgot about it again because I had made dinner. And then I finally finished it. I say that to say, y'all, what was this movie about? And before you tell me what happened in the movie, that's not what I asked you. I'm saying, what is the movie about? What were we supposed to pull from this movie? Honestly, let's be clear. I'm not bashing, not really, because to me, Spike Lee's legacy it's already etched in stone. It's etched in diamond. I have seen all of Spike Lee's movies, with exception to Chirac. I don't think I ever saw that one. But Crooklyn is one of my favorite movies. Do the Right Thing, Mo Better Blues. I mean, shoot, Inside Man, like it. There's a number of Malcolm X. Oh my gosh, right? I mean, you can't say really anything about Spike after Malcolm X. So let's be clear, I'm not really coming at him or Denzel Washington for that matter. Denzel Washington is another one. Legacy etched in diamond. He is my GOAT, my greatest of all time actor. I adore him. Anything he is featured in, I'm watching it. I don't really care. He could be playing, the Grinch, and I'm gonna watch it, So I don't really, it's Denzel. That said, y'all, I didn't like the movie. Is that okay to say? Is it that deep that I didn't like it? And I'm going to tell you why exactly I didn't like it. Obviously, cast stellar. You got Denzel Washington. You got Jeffrey Wright, who played Paul Christopher. You had, what was the other guy? I forgot the other guy's name. The white guy who's in the insurance commercials. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Where he plays Mayhem. Y'all know who I'm talking about, the white boy that play him. But anyway, like it was a stellar cast. You had what was his name? Wendell. You had Wendell there in there, like star-studded cast. That's not lost on me. In the story, the actual story, I did understand what they were trying to achieve. But the pacing of the movie, it just seemed so haphazard. It was okay, he's trying to buy the record deal back. And okay, let's back up. For those who have not seen the movie, obviously this is a spoiler full channel. I say that every time. Okay, you're going to get spoilers here. Denzel Washington plays a musical, essentially an icon, music producer. Think Quincy Jones, for a record label, right? And he is trying to buy the record label back. He doesn't like the direction that they're going in. And he wants to buy it for himself and, kind of reinvent it. And so he has to put up a lot of money for this. Now, what ends up happening is his son's, well, you find out later, it's really his son's friend who gets kidnapped, and he has to put the money up for the ransom to get the child back. That's essentially what happens in the movie. Let's be clear. That's basically what happens in the movie. And really, it's about, okay, who kidnapped him? How do we get him back? Blah, blah, blah. The pacing, y'all, it was all over the place. It was so distracting. And I think that's why I kept on stopping and starting it, because it was just like, all of a sudden, him and his wife talking on the balcony, Denzel and his wife talking on the balcony. And then all of a sudden, he get a phone call. Oh my God, Trey got kidnapped. Like, whoa, 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 hold on. What do you mean he got kidnapped? Who are you talking to? Where did they pick him up yet? Where was Trey when this happened? Like, it was like, why didn't we get to see that part? And then they eventually tell us what happened. It actually wasn't Trey. He comes home. It was actually his friend who was taped up in a bathtub. He got smacked around a little. Like, okay, cool. But where are you taking me? Do you know? It was like, and I'm not going to say, I would never say blind leading the blind, but it was just like, you know how like you have like a trust fall and it's like, I'm about to fall back. You gonna catch me, right? Like, that's what I felt like the whole movie. Like, all right, you gonna bring this home though, right? Like, I'm watching it. I'm sitting here. You got my attention. You're gonna bring this home though, right? And it was like, no. Like, it was just like, it was a little all over the place. The script also threw me off. Again, the story wasn't bad. The storytelling was, y'all, I'm having a hard time describing this film. I'm having such a hard time describing the film because I want to be delicate, because these are heavy hitters we're talking about. We're talking about Spike Lee and Denzel. Like, this is no, these not newcomers. These are no amateurs by any means of the word. They are, they are our pioneers. And our heroes in cinema. So I want to be, gentle and obviously be respectful and, express in a way that displays my deference to their legacy. Okay, I just want that to be clear. But I didn't like the movie, y'all. I didn't like it. Okay, what did I say? Casting was great, 100%. The actors can act. Everybody can act. Let's be clear about it. Everybody can act. The cinematography, the views of New York, and the Puerto Rican Day Parade and all of that, it was great. I loved all of the imagery. All of that was great. In the penthouse, one of the most impressive things about this movie was the penthouse. Whoever decorated that penthouse, keep doing what you're doing. It was, now the word on the street is that is actually Denzel Washington's real penthouse, which is like, oh my gosh, that is so dope. And it was really nice. I really loved, like, oh my gosh, I would love to like live in something like that. But when I say the storytelling was off, like I mentioned, the pacing was all over the place. And then it seemed like, I'm going to tell you what it was. I felt like I was watching one of those commercials where they want you to come to the city. So y'all ever see one of those commercials where it's like, oh, come to California, we have skiing. Come to California, we have surfing. Come to California, we have hiking. And it's like all these different like climates, and it's trying to say like, come to California. And then at the end it says, I heart California. I felt like that's what I was looking at before New York. It felt like a really long I Heart New York commercial with a little suspense. Sponsored by Rivian Trucks and Beijing Hair Dye. Like, that's what it was given. I'm sorry. Like, they put a hairpiece on Denzel, which was not deep to me. But I felt like they were trying to make him younger than he actually was. But I'm like, wow, Denzel still looked good. He could have just been his older self. Like, I didn't think that was deep. What was the movie about, y'all? For real. And I think that it's okay to say when we have a beloved director and actor in Spike Lee and Denzel, it's okay to say that we like, oh, well, I didn't really like this one. And I would do it the same way if it was any other director. So I don't want to hear the tearing the black man down. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. We can critique, but that's why I said it was an internal discussion. So if you like this and you're not like this, cool. But if you don't know what I just did, I hope you're not still here, because you shouldn't be. What you want me to say? When I watched it, I measure a movie in terms of if it was good or not to me. Did it leave a lasting impression? Would I watch it again? No and no for this movie. And we didn't even get the ASAP. We didn't even get the ASAP Rocky. Okay. Honestly, y'all, why ASAP Rocky? I honestly didn't mind that Ice Spice was in the movie. I actually thought she looked really pretty natural. Like with, it didn't look like she had much makeup on it. I think she looked really pretty that way. With the longer hair. But outside of that, ASAP just seemed his character. I kind of understood the studio scene. That would have been cool. The studio scene I didn't mind, where he was just trying to figure out Denzel. That is like, okay, I know you got my money. I know you're the one who took Kyle. What are you looking to achieve though? Like, what is this? What do you really want? What you want your daddy to love you? What you want? I definitely understood that scene, and I would have appreciated if they kind of led from that angle the entire movie, like how you have these rappers or just musicians in the industry that are pushing this violence or this negative talk, but really they are, it's a cry for help, it's a cry for love, it's a cry from abandonment issues, it's a cry from not feeling like you're enough. That would have been a really cool angle to take, not just have it at the tail end of the movie, like really, okay, you did this heinous thing, but let's maybe like a rehabilitation type of thing with ASAP, where he was like more in the movie. He was like in like the last 20 minutes. And then they found him, not even that they found him easily, but they did kind of find him easily, but it was less that. It was more so like, okay, so you took the 17 million and then you hid it under your bed. Huh? Like, y'all didn't think this out. Y'all didn't think this out. Like, nobody thought it out. And I felt like the actual script, when people were talking, it was giving improv. I remember, I'm a really avid watcher of Curb Your Enthusiasm. And so on Curb, they have a scene, and then the actors are kind of just riffing what they want to achieve in the scene, but they're really kind of just improvising, and it turns out super funny. But that's a comedy show, and it's also maybe like 22-minute episodes, right? This is a 2-hour movie. So it just felt like the entire movie was improv. When they were arguing, it didn't feel organic. Oh, let me get some time with my son alone. When they finally catch or find Kyle, let me get some time with my son alone. No, we're not giving you any time with your son alone. Give me some time with my son alone. No, we're not giving any time. It's like, okay, guys, like, can we move the conversation forward? Not to mention, they said the word kidnapper so many times. The kidnapper just called. Get on the phone with the kidnapper. The kidnapper kidnapped Kyle. The kidnapper, where he wants money. How much money does the kidnapper want? Like, y'all, stop saying the word kidnapper. I just, let's be clear. I'm going to say this again. Any other movie that I watch will get the same critique. I'm serious. And I watch it because it's Denzel. I'm going to watch it if it's Denzel. Again, if he played the Grinch, if he played Miranda Priestley, I'm going to watch Denzel. I don't care. It's Denzel. But I'm just like, all right. That's what I'm saying. The actors really weren't the issue. It was more so the pacing, and the story wasn't the issue. Both were fine. The pacing of the movie was weird, and the actual script and storytelling in the movie was just off to me. It felt off to me. It felt rushed, or it felt like the movie was supposed to be longer. Maybe they cut a lot of stuff out. Denzel's wife was super pretty. The most memorable thing about her was her bob. Bob was sickening. Love that. And she did dress really nice. I'm trying to think of the things that I liked. Again, The Penthouse, loved it. I thought Trey, the young man who played his son, and the young man who played Kyle, I thought they did very well. I don't really remember seeing them in anything else, so I don't know if this was a new movie for them or if they had done things before. But I thought they did really well. Again, the acting was fine. It was hard to appreciate such stellar performances when the script and the story just wasn't giving you what you wanted it to. And then again, back to ASAP. ASAP, okay. Y'all, why did we need him? Y'all couldn't have just picked, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna go in because that's still Rihanna's man, and I have a lot of respect for Rihanna. But okay, you know what I mean? It's just like, listen, Spike, keep doing what you're doing. Keep making your movies. I want Spike Lee to make movies until he's 100 years old. Let's be clear about that. This just wasn't my favorite. It just wasn't. It just wasn't my favorite. One of my favorite movies, honestly, I'm a story girl. I think I've mentioned this before. I like storytelling. I like Crooklyn is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love a coming of age story. You know what I mean? Where you have some immature ways, you have your family life, and then things, life happens, things happen to you, and you have to mature, you have to grow. Now you gotta look out for people, you gotta look out for yourself in a different way. Keep your head on a swivel, you mature, you wise up. And I love Troy, that's my favorite character. And I really love that movie. What I always appreciate about Spike Lee is that he knows how to create a movie about Black people and about life as a Black person, but it doesn't lead with I'm Black, Black, Blackity, Black, Black. Like, you know what I mean? I've always appreciated that about Spike Lee. It's from a very genuine, authentic place about the Black experience. Yeah, they in the hood, but they're not like of the hood, if that makes sense. Like he always talks from a genuine place, much like and I'm pivoting a little bit, James Baldwin. When I read stories from James Baldwin, like Giovanni's Room or Go Tell It on the Mountain, those are books about the Black experience. Giovanni's Room about the Black and gay experience, but they're from a very genuine and authentic place. It's not like, oh, I'm a Black man and the white man got me down, and like it doesn't lead with that. Now we all know that's kind of like the background, right? That we know the story, we know the history, but he's really just focused on present Black life in America as he sees it. And I always thought that was incredibly authentic. So again, this is really not a diss to Spike Lee. I just didn't like this movie. And Lackawanna Blues, that's not a Spike Lee joint, but Lackawanna Blues is my favorite movie of all time. It is about another one about community. It's a coming of age story about Junior, it was based on the life of Ruben Santiago, and I think he was one of the producers, but his character is played by Hill Harper. But Lackawanna Blues, y'all look that up. It's an HBO original film. I only saw it on YouTube right now, and I don't know why. It's an HBO original film, but I never see it on HBO Max or Max Plus or whatever it's called now. I don't know why it's never on there, but I say that to say, back to highest to lowest. I'm not ranking this one, y'all. I'm not ranking it because I don't want to do that. But I was curious. I mean, it did get pretty high on Rotten Tomatoes. So, I mean, listen, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. If you like the movie and you say, no, Fatima, you're wrong because what about this, that? I want you to tell me because I am happy to rewatch it from a different lens. Maybe it was something that I wasn't paying attention to. Again, I didn't mind the story. I minded the storytelling and the pacing of the movie. It just kind of threw me off. And I don't want to hear, oh, you bringing another Black man down. We got to have our inside voices on, y'all. We should be able to critique our own art. I'm not bashing it. I'm not even saying don't go see it. Go see it. Watch it. It's Denzel. You're never going to go wrong watching a Denzel movie. Let's be clear about that. If anything, you just had 2 hours of your life. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. If I can watch a Kevin Hart movie, and this is shady, if I can watch a Kevin Hart movie about them robbing a plane or whatever they was doing, if I can give him an hour and a half of my life, I certainly can give it to Spike Lee and Denzel. So I'm not tripping about that. It's just that I didn't enjoy them. I didn't like the movie. But again, if there was something I was missing or Fatima look at it this way, I'm happy to rewatch it. Y'all comment below because I could have missed something. 100%. Anyway, what y'all doing? What y'all been up to? I went to the H Street Festival this past weekend. It was fun, but I saw a lot of critiques on TikTok about it, like, oh, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. And I'm like, I don't get what people were expecting. It was essentially a block party. And they do that. I'm from Philly. They do that all the time in Philly. So with the street vendors and the food, and you got the jewelry and like all that, like it was all this music. It was a go-go band on every corner. I thought it was cool. I liked it a lot. I enjoyed myself. And it was a lot of walking. I got my steps in, so that was good too. So yeah, I don't know why it got mixed reviews either. But I don't know. You can't make everybody happy. You can't make everybody happy. Whatever. If you don't like it, then I guess don't go next year. But I had a good time. I had a really good time. Let me ask y'all something. Is this a podcast? I was talking to my homeboy and I sent him, I was like, yeah, check out my episode. He gonna say, oh, you in your podcast bag. I was like, wait, huh? Because if I'm in my podcast bag, that makes me a podcast sis, right? Like opposite of a podcast bro, but I don't want to be in the sphere of podcast bros. So I really don't even want to call it a podcast. I just like to run my mouth. And anybody who knows me knows that. It's just that now I'm telling YouTube. But I don't know, y'all. Is this a podcast? I guess. I just call it my YouTube channel, you know? It's where I, like to talk my mess and keep my ears to the streets. I don't know. Podcast, but I need a podcast mic. My sister gonna say, no, you don't have to spend all that money on a podcast mic. You good with the mic you got. I'm like, whatever. I want a podcast mic. Yeah, I do. But yeah, y'all, that's how I felt about the movie. I just felt like the story was all over the place, and I love a good story. I love a good story. That said, still go watch it, for real. Still go watch it. Still go support Spike Lee and Denzel. They have given so much to us over the decades, literally both pioneers in their own right. So just go watch it because it's them. Seriously, I would still go watch it. But yeah, y'all, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. Thank you for watching another episode of Cue the Curtain. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. All right, bye.